Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another video. It's that time. I'm going to do our college football picks and predictions. The week that we're looking at is all of our top 25 week 7 matchups for the 2025 college football season. We are halfway through the regular season. We are in the meat of conference play now. The games are starting to mean a whole lot more. We're going to break down every single top 25 game, try to predict the outcome, the winner, the loser, final score. We'll also take a look at our best bets, the money lines, the spreads, the over-unders. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Drop your comments down below. Who do you think is going to win these games? And if you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out that pinned comment down below. Click on that link. You can sign up there, and I would definitely appreciate it. We got a lot of games to go through. Let's jump right into it. The very first one we have starting everything off, it's a Friday night game. You know what happens Friday night games. I hate weekday games because the unexpected happens. October 10th, this coming Friday, 7:30 p.m., ESPN2, number 24. Welcome back to the top 25, the South Carolina Bulls. 4-1, that only loss was to number 2 Miami. This team, they can run the ball. They're on the road here versus the 5-0 North Texas Mean Green. Running the air raid, they are putting up a boatload of points. They are just slinging it down everyone's throat right now, throwing the ball up and down. Pretty decent run game. Right now, North Texas, the fan vote, 53.4% chance to win. The Bulls with 46.6%. Practically a 50-50 split with the fans. North Texas is actually also the Vegas favorite. 1.5 run favorite. It's a 67.5 over under. Vegas sees a complete shootout in this game. Right now, USF with Brown at the quarterback position, 10 passing touchdowns, 4 picks. He's thrown for 1,200. He's also ran for 303 rushing touchdowns. They're averaging 257.2 through the air, 188.8 on the ground, giving up 22.4 points a game. North Texas, they're averaging 44.8 points a game, a top 10 defense in the nation. Throwing for 256.6, running for 180.4. That's a good offense. They give up 20 points a game. The only concerning thing I see is they give up 180.4 on the ground. The Bulls love to run the ball. I think this game is going to go back and forth, but I think USF pulls out the upset victory on the road. They win it 37-34. And now moving on to our Saturday games, October 11, 12 p.m. on Fox. Number 1, the defending national champions, the Ohio State Buckeyes, 5-0. This team, they are rolling right now. They might have the best top-to-bottom roster in all of college football. They definitely have the best defense. They have yet to give up more than 7 points in any game this season. Crazy stats. They're on the road versus number 17, the Fighting Illini, 5-1. This offense is rolling. This is Brett Bielema's team. You know they're going to be disciplined. They're going to play line of scrimmage football. They want to own the game in the trenches. But that's obviously easier said than done versus Buckeye squad, who is just completely decimating teams right now. One thing the Fighting Illini have going for them, they are scoring points. The strength was supposed to be the run game. The defense this season, it's actually the offense. Defense is okay. They are giving up some points. There will be opportunities for the Buckeyes to score. The major question, will the Fighting Illini be able to match them blow for blow? Illinois at home, 17.7% chance to win. Ohio State, an 82.3% chance. The fans are not giving the Fighting Illini any chance to win this game. The Buckeyes, 14.5 point favorites. The over-under is 50.5. Saying first year as the starting quarterback for Ohio State, very comfortable. One of the highest completion percentages in the country. He's 101 out of 126, 13 touchdowns, 3 picks, over 1,300 yards. They have Bo Jackson Jr. at the running back position, almost 400 yards rushing. Jeremiah Smith, touchdowns in 5 straight games. Ennis, Tate, probably the most talented, the deepest wide receiver core in the nation. Luke Altmaier on the other side, 3rd year in this scheme, in this system. He's definitely a veteran quarterback playing like a great asset to have for Illinois. He has almost 1,600 passing yards, 12 touchdowns. I don't even think he's thrown a pick yet. They have Valentine at the running back position. BD closing in on 600 yards receiving. This is definitely a pass-heavy team. Buckeyes are averaging 37.4 points a game, throwing for 279.8, running for 171.6. Pretty decently balanced team, only giving up 5.0 points per game. That is ridiculous. They had the number 1 defense last year. They have the number 1 defense against this season, and it's not even close. They're only giving up 124 through the air. The strength for Illinois is throwing the ball. It's strength versus strength. This Buckeye secondary, they came to play with Caleb Downs, who some people think is the top defensive player in the nation. Illinois, 37 points a game, throwing for 267.2, running for 130.7, giving up 24 points a game, giving up 252 through the air. There will be opportunities for the Buckeyes to push the ball down the field, but I think it's the defense. It's the defensive front 7 that dictates the pace of this game. Ohio State, they win this one 32-10. Yes, I have them finally for the first time giving up over 7 points this week. And our next game is a massive one on ABC at 12 p.m. Number 8, the Alabama Crimson Tide. This team is rolling right now. This offense, this is a Kalen DeBoer offense. They are a deep vertical passing team. That's exactly what DeBoer wants to be. They are 4-1. They're on the road versus number 14, the Missouri Tigers, 5-0. Very easy SEC schedule. This team has won back-to-back 10-win seasons. They're on pace right now to get their third. Drinkwitz, very underappreciated coach. What he does with the talent on his roster, he gets the most out of his players. This is probably the biggest game he's ever had at Missouri at home, hosting Alabama. It's going to be a crazy atmosphere. Right now, the Tigers 36.6% chance to win this one. Bama 63.4%. Alabama, very close game here. 4.5-point favorites, 53.5 over-under. This Alabama team, Ty Simpson, since the Florida State game, a completely different quarterback. DeBoer, he got Grubbs back. Grubbs is his guy. That's the offense he wants to run, the deep vertical passing game. I want to see them run the ball this entire season. I've been saying, Bama down the stretch in the competitive SEC games, if they get to the playoffs versus those Big Ten teams, they're going to have to be able to line up second half of these games, control time of possession, run the ball downhill. They have not been able to do that this season. But with that passing game, hopefully that's going to open up some run game, open up the play action. Things will just go round and round there. Right now, Ty Simpson, 13 touchdowns, 1 pick, 1,500 yards. Jam Miller's back, almost 200 yards rushing. They have a great wide receiver core. Bernard, Ryan Williams, and on the other side, Missouri, do not underestimate this offense. You know Penn State, let's call it like it is. They wishes they probably had Perbula back. Right now, 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 picks. Hardy leads the SEC in rushing, one of the best in the nation, 730 yards on the ground through 5 games, 9 rushing touchdowns, crazy numbers. Coleman has almost 400 yards receiving. Right now, Alabama 36.4 points a game, throwing for 325.4, very pass heavy, running for 126.8. I want to see that number get up to about 170 per game, but they're only giving up 16 points a game. Solid defense, Nick Saban caliber defense. The Tigers 45.2 points a game. They haven't played anybody yet. That's the big knock. But still, they're beating the crap out of teams, so give them credit. Throwing for 255.6, running for 292. They lead the SEC in rushing. No matter what, if they can successfully run the ball, that's going to control time of possession. That's going to open up the play action. They'll be able to dictate the pace of this game, and they're only giving up 14.6, only 62.4 on the ground. I think Missouri, they're going to come to play. They got shut out last season by Bama. They don't want that to happen again. I think this is one of those Bama games. It goes back and forth down to the fourth quarter. It's going to be one play that makes a difference. Bama wins it 30-27. Moving over to the SEC at 12 p.m. on ESPN, 3-2, the Pittsburgh Panthers. Never underestimate Narduzzi's team. They always have a really good offense. They have a high-flying passing offense. The biggest issue, their starting quarterback, Holstein, goes down. They got a true freshman starting. If Holstein was playing this game, they would have pretty good chances to pull off the upset. They'll be playing number 25, Florida State 3-2, 2 back-to-back losses. Do not count that against Florida State. They lost to 2 talented teams, 2 ranked teams technically right now, but they showed a lot of fight. This is one of the highest scoring offenses in the country. They want revenge. They're at home. Do not underestimate them because they lost to. This team beat Alabama. They're going to come ready to play. Mike Norvell already surpassed the amount of wins he had last season. He's already at 3 wins. They only won 2 last year. They have Thomas Castellanos, the run game. Gus Malzahn calling plays. They're going to run it all day long here. Florida State, 77.1% chance to win. Pitt, a 22.9% chance. Seminoles are 9.5-point favorites. 58.5 over under. The Panthers, 41 points a game. Throwing for 307, running for 116, giving up 19.6, only 64.6 on the ground. Their strength is their rush defense, but Florida State, top 5 rushing team in the nation. It's strength versus strength. Who's going to control the line of scrimmage? Florida State, 46.8 points a game, top 10 offense in the country. Throwing for 265.4, running for 295.4, giving up 20.8 points a game. Like I said, if Pitt had Holstein, that offense could have been a lot more competitive here, but with the freshman, it's going to be a little difficult. Right now for Florida State, Thomas Castellanos, 1,100 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, 5 picks. Got to keep the turnovers down, but he's had turnover problems his whole career going back to Boston College. Sawchuk, almost 300 yards rushing. Robinson, well over 400 yards receiving. He's that primary weapon. I need the wide receiver core as a whole to step up here. I think Florida State, the ground game, the rushing attack, they dominate the line of scrimmage. They win this one 34-20. On the SEC Network at 12:45 p.m., 3-2 Washington State Cougars, one of the rare out-of-conference matchups. They'll be visiting number 4 Ole Miss Rebels, 5-0 undefeated. This is Lane Kiffin's squad, ranked number 4. Everything is in front of this team. There's only 7 games. Lane, as long as you go 5-2 over the last 7, you will have cemented yourself a shot in the playoffs. Everything is still in front of you. Ole Miss, 98.5% chance to win. Washington State, 1.5% chance. You have to feel bad for the Cougars. Not only did the Pac-12 get dissolved, they were robbed of Cam Ward, and then they were robbed of John Mateer back-to-back seasons. It really stinks. Ole Miss, 32.5-point favorites, 59 over-under. Just to throw this number out there, right now, Ole Miss, minus 20,000. Try to make sense of that. That is crazy, but if you stop and think about it, it makes sense. Right now, Washington State, 20.6 points a game, throwing for 228.8, running for 77.8, giving up 28.8 points a game. They don't have a good enough offense to get in a shootout with Ole Miss, and they don't have a good enough defense to stop them. Right now, the Rebels, 40.6 points a game, throwing for 322.6, running for 208.0, giving up 18.8 points a game. They don't have the top 10 defense they had last year, but they still have a top 20, top 25 defense and a top 10 offense. Chambliss leading the way, taking over for Simmons. He's only played a couple games over 1,000 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick. So he can also scramble. Lacey on the ground, almost 500 yards rushing. They have Wallace. They've replaced their stars from last season. Paris, Trey Harris, Jackson Dart. That's what Lane Kiffin does. They continue to roll, and he loves to run the points up here. He's going to cement his spot at number 4. Ole Miss wins 48-13. Moving over to the Big Ten, 3:30 p.m. on CBS. Number 7. This is a really fun game. This is a top 10 versus top 10 matchups. These rarely come by. You have to enjoy them when you have them. Number 7, Indiana Hoosiers, 5-0. Kurt Cignetti's team, they made the playoffs last season. All Kurt Cignetti does is win. This is the Fighting Cignettis here on the road versus number 3, Oregon Ducks, 5-0. Oregon's best win was Penn State. That was a very good win, but Penn State now, they wet the bed. They're no longer even ranked. Started out the season number 2, got thrown out of the polls. Guys, they are a top 25 team. They just got to get a couple wins. They'll get put back in there, but how embarrassing. The Ducks wanted that win, but no matter what, they got another top 10 team here for them to beat. Cement themselves at number 3. The Ducks, one of the best all-around teams in college football. That's not even questionable. Dan Lanning, the way that he's built this team through the portal, through recruiting, at the line of scrimmage, they can out-physical anyone at the point of attack, and they're going to need it because they potentially might be facing the Buckeyes for the Big Ten championship. Ducks, 69.5% chance to win. Indiana, 30.5% chance to win. People seem to forget Indiana beat the Fighting Illini when they were top 10. What was that? 63-10, a complete curb stomping. Do not underestimate the Hoosiers here. The Ducks, 9.5-point favorites, 54.5 over under. Indiana, this offense is playing well. The defense is playing well. They made the playoffs last season. This team might be even better than last year's. Fernando Mendoza transferring over from Cal, 1,200 passing yards, 16 touchdowns, only 1 pick. Hemby, almost 400 yards rushing. Cooper Jr., almost 500 yards receiving, but you got the Ducks. Dante Moore, first season as a starter, looks like the most complete quarterback the Ducks have had. Not to insult Nix Gabriel, but he might be the best quarterback since Marcus Mariota here. 1,200 yards passing, 14 touchdowns, 1 pick. Hill Jr., almost 300 yards. Moore, almost 300 yards. And they have a tight end making crazy acrobatic catches. They're deep. They got playmakers at every single position. But Indiana, 47.8 points a game. Throwing for 270.4, running for 267.8. That's about as balanced as it gets. That is 50-50, giving up 9.6 points per game. Only 133 through the air, 88 on the ground. The Ducks, 46.6 points a game. Throwing for 264.4, running for 239.4. Again, practically 50-50, giving up 12.2 points a game. This game is going to be physical to me. It's going to be a defensive line of scrimmage game. I think it goes back and forth. I think the Ducks and their experience depth makes the difference late third, fourth quarter. That's where they pull away. They make it a 2-score game. They ultimately win it 32-20. But no matter what, these teams are looking like they both might be making the playoffs this season. This is where things get a little crazy. The Red River rivalry, one of the best rivalries in all of sports, in all of college football. 3:30 p.m. ABC. Number 6, the Oklahoma Sooners, 5-0 undefeated. This is Brent Venables' team. You know they're going to be physical. They want to own the line of scrimmage. They're going to have a great defense. Right now, a top 10 defense in the nation. Almost as good as the Buckeyes. Not as good, but it is very competitive. The offense, though, struggling to run the ball. The big question mark, is John Mateer going to play this game? As of right now, he is questionable. As of right now, he's not starting this game. But never say never. I would in no way be surprised if he suits up with him being out. When he left, he was the Heisman frontrunner. That's a massive piece. That's the MVP of this team being out. This actually gives the Longhorns a real shot here. They just got kicked out of the top 25. They were number 1 preseason. They're 3-2, booted out of the top 25. This is their chance to beat their main rival when they don't have their starting quarterback. Get back in the top 25. Sometimes you just got to take advantage of a team when they're missing a piece. Texas, 60.9% chance to win. Oklahoma, 39.1. The Longhorns, 3-point favorites, 42.5 over under. Oklahoma, 33.8 points a game, throwing for 278, running for 137.2. Outside of John Mateer, they are not consistently running the ball. He's a large portion of their offense. Very physical quarterback, but they're only giving up 7.2 points a game, only 118 through the air, 74.6 on the ground. That is an aggressive, very efficient defense. The Longhorns, Arch Manning, we've already covered that so much. It is what it is. So far, guys, he's not good. They're only averaging 29.6 points a game, throwing for 246.6, running for 172.6, giving up 12. They have a good defense, but it didn't show up versus Florida last week. Manning, the leading rusher with 160 yards. Where the heck is the Texas run game? He's the leading rusher through the first 5 games with 160 yards. That's not going to cut it. The offensive line, a lot of question marks. Arch Manning, even more question marks. Definitely has not lived up to the hype. We don't know if John Mateer is playing. That's what makes this so hard to call. You got Michael Hawkins Jr. If not, I'm just going to go out there on an edge no matter who starts. Might be Mateer, but because we're down the middle, give me the Sooners pulling off the Vegas upset. They win this one 23-17. The defense wins the game. On the ACC network at 3:30 p.m., 2-4 Virginia Tech. Brent Pye has been fired. They've been kind of competitive, though, playing pretty decent defensive football. On the road versus number 13, Georgia Tech. Yellow Jackets 5-0. Georgia Tech here, the bye week. Not the best performance the last game that they were in, but because they won, they technically continue to slowly move up the top 25. Georgia Tech, 79.8% chance. They are at home in Atlanta, and they're going to run it down Virginia Tech's throat. The Hokies, 20.2% chance. The Yellow Jackets, 14.5-point favorites, 55.5 over-under. Virginia Tech, 23.5 points a game, throwing for 202.7, running for 155.2, giving up 28.3 points a game. Georgia Tech, when they have a healthy King, he is going to run nonstop, and it's physical runs. 20 to 25 carries per game, putting his shoulder down. They have 8 to 12-minute possessions. They drain the game clock. They're averaging 37. Throwing for 244, running for 232, very balanced offense, but it's the rush game that leads the way. That always opens up that play action. They're giving up 21.2 points a game. Haynes King, 800 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. He's also the leading rusher, 400 yards rushing. They also have Haynes there. He's a great running back. Canyon, almost 300 yards receiving. To me, they have the weapons. They are at home. That Wake Forest game, kind of concerning though, but I think Georgia Tech holds on to win this game 32-17. And on Peacock at 3:30 p.m., the 4-2 NC Wolfpack versus number 16, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish 3-2, riding a 3-game winning streak. This offense is rolling. Denbrock calling great plays. Freeman, the defense has actually stepped up the last couple games. They were looking really shaky the first 3 games, but that Notre Dame defense that finished number 3 in the nation last season, they have finally arrived. CJ Carr slinging the ball. The Irish 92.3% chance to win. The Wolfpack 7.7. Notre Dame 22.5-point favorite, 62.5 over-under. That's a high one. NC State 33.8 points a game, throwing for 282.3, running for 165.3, giving up 25 points a game, giving up 243 through the air. The Irish love to throw, and there's definitely going to be opportunities to push the ball vertically down the field. The Irish 40.8 points a game, top 15 offense, throwing for 283, running for 178.6, giving up 23.6 points a game. The defense improving every week. Carr, 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 picks. Love. Pierce, great running back combo, face in, great house. A lot of veterans on this team. I think the Irish win this one 44-23. 3:30 p.m. on ESPN, number 22, Iowa State Cyclones, 5-1, coming off that loss. Not a good loss. That was a shootout here. They got to get the defense under control, calm things down. Matt Campbell-led team, usually very disciplined, love to run the ball, physical team. The offense has been leading the way so far this season, but it makes sense. You got Rocco back there. 3rd year on the team, 1,500 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, 2 picks. He can also scramble. Hanson, a running back. Right now, they'll be playing 2 and 4 Colorado Buffaloes. Colorado, you see a massive difference with this team. They don't have Shador, they don't have Travis Hunter, but still they have a lot of young pieces here. They're just trying to get them some reps in this system. Colorado, 36.9% chance to win. Iowa State, 63.1% chance. Right now, the Cyclones, 4.5-point favorites, 51.5 over-under. Iowa, 31.3 points a game. Throwing for 248, running for 151, giving up 18.2 points per game. Colorado, a lot of very close losses, 1-possession losses. They're averaging 25 points a game, throwing for 211.8, running for 143.8. Obviously, running the ball a lot better than they did last season, but they've been shuffling quarterbacks. Salter, Lewis, they're giving up 24.8. Right now, Salter, 901 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, 4 picks. I want to see that run game dominate the pace of this game just a little bit more so that can open up some play action down the field. Keep the ball away from Rocco Becht, but I think the Cyclones, they score just enough to hold on. They win at 28-20. SEC Network, 4:15 p.m. Let's just call this like it is. This game is going to be extremely high scoring. There's going to be fireworks. It's going to be a shootout. As an unbiased fan, this is just going to be some fun football to watch. 2-3 Arkansas Razorbacks. Sam Pittman's been fired. Bobby Petrino back at the helm. It's been 2 decades. He is back at Arkansas as the interim head coach right now. But he's a gunslinging guy. They're going to be scoring points. He loves some offense, and he's very good at calling it. They'll be on the road versus number 12 Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee finally moved up. They've been at number 15 for like 4 weeks. They're 4-1. Josh Heupel, one of the best current offensive minds in all of college football. Tennessee, 82.6 points a game. The Razorbacks, 17.4. Volunteers at home, 13.5-point favorites, 69.5 over-under. That is massive. The Razorbacks, they can score some points, though. 37.4 points a game, throwing for 300.8, running for 213.8. They can throw it, they can run it. They are giving up 30 points a game. Tennessee's loving that right now. They're averaging 51 points per game, throwing for 337.2, running for 199.2. What's that? 550 yards of offense practically every game, giving up 29. They had a top 10 defense last season. They don't have that this year, but at least for them, they will just blatantly outscore you. Joey Aguilar, he was on this team for like 2 days before the season started. He's already at 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns, 5 picks. They got Bishop, Brazel the second, almost 600 yards receiving. Very deep, very huge wide receiver core. A lot of tall 6'2", 6'3" guys. And on the other side, Green, 12 touchdowns, 5 picks, 1,400 yards. He's also a mobile quarterback, almost 500 yards rushing. They have Blake at wide receiver. I think this game's going to go back and forth for a while, but Tennessee ultimately wins it in the fourth quarter. They win 44-33. ESPN, 7 p.m. College Station, very difficult place to play. The 2-3 Florida Gators, they're doing what Florida Gators do. Billy Napier, he always drops down, has an awful first start to the season, and then the team rally around him. They love this guy. They will play for him when his job is on the line. His job is always on the line. This is getting into the second half of the season. This is actually usually when the Gators turn it on. They get hot. What happens if they go on a tear here and they end up winning 8 games still? Starting out 1-3, winning 8 games, that would be a crazy way to end the season, but nothing would be surprising. They're on the road here versus number 5, the Texas A&M Aggies, 5-0 undefeated. Mike Elko, disciplined, line of scrimmage team, but they are chucking the ball up and down the field, and they got the run game going. Right now, the Aggies, 73.9% chance to win. The Gators, a 26.1. Texas A&M, 8.5-point favorites, 45.5 over-under. Right now, Florida, 23.4 points a game, throwing for 223.8, running for 132.2. Billy Napier, please, for the love of God, concentrate on the run game. It worked for you last week. You have refused to go to it this season. You got a good running back, ball 400 yards on the ground. Feed the man the ball. DJ Lagway, let him get that play action going. They're only giving up 17 points a game. This is a very good defense. The defense will give the Gators a shot here in any game, and on the road, you can always rely on your defense. The Aggies, 34.8 points a game, throwing for 271.4, running for 195.4, giving up 21. Reed at quarterback, 1,300 yards passing, 11 touchdowns, 3 picks. Moss, Reed, both running at Craver, one of the top wide receivers in the nation. Some people think he's top 3. Some people think he's the best. Almost 600 yards receiving, 4 touchdowns. 600 yards on 30 receptions. That is crazy. I think the Aggies at home, they have just enough offense and defense to hold off the Gators, but it is a defensive line of scrimmage game. Aggies win 24-16. Fox at 7:30 p.m., 4-2 Kansas Jayhawks. Daniels playing much better than he did last season. Started out last year really slow. He started out this year hot. This offense is rolling. They are giving up some points last couple games. They'll be on the road here versus number 9, the Texas Tech Red Raiders, 5-0. How about Texas Tech, the number 1 transfer portal class, one of the best offenses in the nation, one of the best defenses in the nation. Texas Tech, the air raid, they can throw it and they can run it. A really good line of scrimmage. This is the best Texas Tech team we've seen since the Mike Leach days. Right now, the Red Raiders, 74.4% chance to win. Kansas, a 25.6% chance. Texas Tech, 14.5-point favorite, 60.5 over-under. Daniels, 1,500 yards passing, 16 touchdowns, 2 picks, playing very efficient. Texas Tech, they can do a little bit of everything. Morton, slinging the ball. Even if he gets hurt, they got Hammond right behind him. He's slinging the ball. Dickey, 330 yards rushing. Very talented wide receiver core. Jayhawks, 35 points a game, throwing for 261.8, running for 173, giving up 20.5 points a game. Texas Tech, 48.6 points a game, throwing for 363.8, running for 205, almost 600 yards of offense per game, only giving up 11.2, only 65.6 on the ground. Kansas, they're probably going to be able to get theirs. Texas Tech, at some point, they might have an upset lurking somewhere on the schedule. The goal is just trying to find which game it might be, but I think they have enough offense. They pull off the win here. 42-24. Then at 7:30 p.m. on ABC, number 10, the Georgia Bulldogs 4-1 versus the 3-2 Auburn Tigers. Hugh Freeze at home. He would love to pull off the upset somehow. He has a very good defense. They're going to keep this game close. His job is on the line potentially. He's on the hot seat. I'm not saying anything is going to happen to him, but he needs a very strong win, something to cement this season. Right now, Georgia 64.5% chance to win. The Tigers are 35.5% chance. Bulldogs are 3.5-point favorites, a 46.5 over/under. Auburn's averaging 27.6 points a game, throwing for 173.2, running for 169. I got to see some more from Jackson Arnold, more than just running the ball. At some point, you have to be able to vertically push the ball down the field on these teams, but still solid defense. They've had a top 20 defense the last couple seasons. It's been the offense holding them back. That continues to be a problem this season. They're giving up 16.4 points a game. The defense will keep this game within reach. It's just for how long before they get wore out. Georgia 34.6 points a game, throwing for 231.8, running for 206.8, giving up 18.4 points per game. Gunnar Stockton, 6 touchdowns, 1 picks, almost 1,100 yards. Bowens, Colby Young, give the ball to Branch. He's a playmaker. Put it to him in space. And on the other side, Cobb, Singleton Jr., talented wide receiver core. We just got to get him the ball. I think Auburn makes a game of it. They will be leading in the fourth quarter. For some reason, I feel that. But Georgia will have the ball last. They'll win it. They win 28-23. NBC, 7:30 p.m., number 15, the Michigan Wolverines 4-1. How about Underwood? A true freshman slinging the ball all over the place. Michigan, Sharon Moore back. This is a ground and pound football team. They want to beat you at the line of scrimmage. They don't have the most talent at the skill positions, but they can run the ball. Haynes almost 700 yards rushing, 8 touchdowns. And then you got Bryce Underwood doing what he needs to do, playing consistent, good, accurate football, not pushing anything. They'll be on the road here versus the 4-1 USC Trojans coming off the bye week. Not their best last game, dropped that one, but USC, this is Lincoln Riley. He might be the best offensive mind in the sport. They're going to score points no matter who they play. Defense showed a lot of breaking points last week, playing good up to that point of the season. But if Michigan can replicate what the Fighting Illini did, this could be a high-scoring game. Right now, USC 68.5% chance to win. Michigan a 31.5% chance to win. Michigan's averaging 32.8 points per game, throwing for 200.6, running for 237.8, giving up 16.2 points per game. The Trojans 48.4 points per game, throwing for 338, running for 227, giving up 23 points a game. They have Mayava, almost 1,600 yards passing, 11 touchdowns, 1 pick. Jordan almost 600 yards on the ground. Lemon, Lane, one of the best wide receiver cores in the nation. This is one of those games here. USC is the Vegas favorite, 2.5-point favorite, but this is a very difficult game to call. I'm going to go with USC pulling off the win here versus the ranked team, getting themselves back in the top 25. They win it 33-27, but this is honestly a 50-50 game. Flip a coin. That's the outcome. And another tough one, 7:45 p.m. on the SEC Network. You have 3-2, the South Carolina Gamecocks. Not the best start to the season. They just barely missed the playoffs last season. A lot of hype coming into this season, but now everyone's giving them their A game. They snuck up on teams last year. Everyone was prepared for them this year. They'll be playing number 11 LSU Tigers, 4-1 LSU. For the love of God, can they run the ball? Coming off the bye here, we want to see them run the ball. This offense was supposed to be the strength of this team. It's been the weakness. The defense, year 2 under Blake Baker, taking massive strides forward. This is a defensively focused team. If that offense ever wakes up, watch out for this team. Right now, the Tigers 73% chance to win. The Gamecocks 27% chance. LSU 9.5-point favorites, a 44.5 over/under. South Carolina, Sellers. He can throw the ball. He can run the ball. He's not the most accurate quarterback, though, but very talented wide receiver core. Jacobs leading the way with 323 yards. And on the other side, Nussmeier, 1,200 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, 3 picks. They got to get Durham going on the ground. And they have Anderson. Very deep wide receiver room, but it doesn't matter if you can't get them the ball. Gamecocks, 24.8 points a game, throwing for 208.8, running for 99.8, giving up 18.8. LSU, 27 points a game, throwing for 259.4, running for 104.8, giving up 12.2 points a game. Solid defense. To me, the defense leads the way, but I think the Gamecocks, they come prepared. They put up a fight, but they lose. LSU wins 28-24. And we made it to our final game, ESPN 10:15 p.m. 2 West Coast teams facing off. Number 21, Arizona State Sun Devils, 4-1, back in the top 25. You have Leavitt playing really good football right now. He's basically the glue that holds this entire team together. They're on the road versus 4-1 Utah Utes. Kyle Whittingham, one of the longest tenured coaches in the country. He would love to win this game, get back in the top 25. Never underestimate Utah. And at Utah, very difficult place for the road team to play. The Utes, 69.6% chance to win. The Sun Devils, 30.4% chance. Utah, 5.5-point favorites, 49.5 over-under. Arizona State, 29.2 points a game, throwing for 207.8, running for 216.6. Very balanced offense, giving up 21.2 points a game. Levitt, 8 touchdowns, 3 picks, 1,100 yards passing. How about Brown coming in for Scadaboo? 506 yards rushing. Tyson, they didn't have this guy in the playoffs. Massive piece lost, but he has 500 yards receiving. On the other side, Utah, they actually have an offense for once because they don't have a quarterback who's hurt every 5 minutes. Devin Dampier, 1,100 yards passing, 11 touchdowns, 3 picks. He can also run it. They have Parker, Davis. They're averaging 39 points a game, throwing for 226.6, running for 242.6. Great offense, only giving up 14.6 points a game. Some people say they have a top 3 offensive line in the country. They can lean on that at home. That will give them time of possession second half. I think they hold on to this game. It's a close one. They win it 27-23. Guys, that's a breakdown. That's our picks, predictions on all of our college football matchups for Week 7 of the 2025 college football season. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe. If you have any comments, let me know who you think is going to win these games in the comment section. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out that pinned comment down below. Click on that link, sign up there, and I would appreciate it. And of course, as always, thank you for watching.